Have you ever felt like you're playing a game you can't win? A game where everyone else seems to have the rule book and you're just left to guess? For so many of us, that's what personal finance feels like. You hear the same advice over and over. Save 10% of every paycheck, budget every single expense, don't buy coffee out. You start off with good intentions. You set up the automatic transfer. You open a budgeting app, and for a few days, you feel a sense of control. But then, life happens. The car tire goes flat. Your child needs new shoes. Or you have a terrible day at work, and that $5 coffee is the only thing standing between you and a complete meltdown. And then, the guilt sets in. You see your bank account balance, you see the money you didn't save, and you feel like a failure. You feel like a kid who didn't do their homework. You hear people talking about their savings rate and feel embarrassed that you're just trying to keep your head above water. I know that feeling because I've been there. For years, I tried to fit my messy, unpredictable life into a rigid, perfect financial plan. And every time I failed, I got more frustrated. It wasn't until I realized that the advice itself was the problem. The traditional rules of saving are not a blueprint for a real life. They are a blueprint for a life that doesn't exist. The broken rules of saving. Let's get to the heart of the matter. Why does save 10% fail so many people? Reason number one, it ignores reality. Our lives are not static. Our income fluctuates. Our expenses are unpredictable. A rigid rule like 10% every time works great if you're a robot with a perfectly consistent salary and zero unexpected costs. But what about when your work hours are cut? What about a sudden medical bill? What about a family emergency? That 10% suddenly becomes an impossible, anxiety-inducing burden. Reason number two, it's demoralizing. When you're living on a tight budget, 10% of your income might mean giving up something essential. Maybe it's not a latte. Maybe it's the ability to buy fresh groceries. Maybe it's skipping a necessary car repair because that money was earmarked for savings. When saving feels like a punishment or a sacrifice of basic needs, you're never going to stick with it. It's a psychological trap that makes you resent saving. Reason number three, it's a one-size-fits-all solution. The advice to save 10% was not created for the person living paycheck to paycheck. It was created for someone who already has a solid financial foundation. It assumes you have surplus money to work with. It's like telling someone with a broken leg to run a marathon. It's not a matter of discipline. It's a matter of capacity. And it's time we stopped blaming ourselves for not being able to do the impossible. The new philosophy is save what you can. So if we're throwing out the old rules, what's the new one? The new rule is simple, powerful, and revolutionary because it puts you, the human being, back in control. The new rule is save what you can. This isn't permission to be lazy. It's an invitation to be strategic and compassionate with yourself. It's an acknowledgement that some seasons of life are for building your foundation and other seasons are for thriving. The goal is no longer to hit an arbitrary percentage. The goal is to build the habit of saving, no matter how small the amount. Think of it like working out. You don't start by trying to lift the heaviest weight in the gym. You start with a weight you can handle. You build strength and consistency over time, and eventually you get stronger. Saving is the exact same. You start with what you can handle, and you build momentum. This completely changes the emotional experience of saving. Instead of guilt, you get empowerment. Instead of failure, you get small wins. And instead of stress, you get progress. The Save What You Can playbook. This isn't just a mindset, it's a practice. Here's a simple 3-step playbook for implementing the Save What You Can method. Step 1. The first act of saving. When you get paid, before you do anything else, pause. Open your bank account. Ask yourself, what can I realistically move into my savings right now? Is it $1? Is it $10? Is it $50? The number doesn't matter. The act does. Transfer that amount to a separate savings account. Immediately. This is your first victory. You've paid yourself first, but in a way that feels possible, not painful. Step 2. The surplus scavenger method. This is my favorite part. Throughout the week, be a scavenger. Look for the small, unexpected surpluses. Maybe you packed your lunch instead of buying it and saved $10. Maybe you found a coupon for groceries and saved $5. Instead of letting that money disappear into the ether, take it and put it into your savings. It's a mental game. You're actively looking for money to save, not just waiting for the end of the month. You're turning saving into an exciting hunt for loose cash. And step 3, celebrate the small wins. This is the most critical step. We often only celebrate the big wins, like paying off a car or hitting a major savings goal. With the Save What You Can method, you must celebrate the small wins. Put that dollar in the jar and give yourself a mental high five. Look at your savings account and see the balance slowly growing. Every single dollar is a testament to your effort and a vote for your future self. It's no longer about a percentage. It's about a feeling of forward momentum. The path to financial peace. Saving money is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about how much you save. It's about the habit of saving. When you release the pressure to be perfect and give yourself the grace to be human, you'll find that saving money is no longer a chore. It becomes an act of self-care. It becomes an act of building a life that you can actually live, with room for the unexpected and the simple joys. So let's stop playing a game with broken rules. Let's create our own. A game we can actually win one small victory at a time.